Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So it's that time of week again. It's our usual Friday night live. Let's see who comes in for a chat. It's been a really long day following on from another really hot day. Yeah, so two extremely hot days in a row. Host bans are coming across the country. A lot of our gardens are suffering, and I've picked this weekend to go out and do some serious heavy labor. Let me give that camera a little wipe on the phone. So, yeah, as usual, we're streaming across two platforms. We're on YouTube and on TikTok, so we reach a wider audience. Let's see who's coming in. We've got CW, Bobby Oven. How are you doing? Both hope you're keeping well. We've got 10 people in the YouTube live. Please hit that like as you're coming in. That'd be good. Laura, Pound for Pound TV. Hope you're all well. Thanks very, very much for coming in and having a bit of a chit chat with us. So it's been an absolutely hectic weekend. Alhamdulillah, I'm good. But it's been a crazy couple of days. So we've decided, well, we need a new roof, and I sort of went a little bit nutty and decided that I'm going to do it myself. So since yesterday, I've been up on the top of scaffolding, pulling down roof tiles. We stripped all the roof back yesterday, me and my brother-in-law, and today started felting it. Got most of the felt on, and tomorrow hopefully we'll get the tiles on, or we'll start getting the tiles on, and maybe, just maybe, we might get it done by Sunday. I'm scared of heights as well, so there you go. There's one for a bit of irony. Kato family, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Alan, hello from Northern Ireland. How are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. Justine, Graham, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. Long time no see, Graham. Hope you're keeping well. How is everyone? How's everyone's week been going? Give me a catch up on what you've all been up to. Let me hear how things are going for you guys. But yeah, I have these moments of madness every now and then think, yeah, let's see what I can do. But so far, I'm enjoying it. We've been up on that roof for 2 days. I've been getting a good tan. Even got a bit of sunburn. I didn't know I'd get sunburn, but for some reason, even where I've had clothes on, I've got sunburn on my back. So that's been a bit weird. Chris, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Has everyone still got a good water supply yet? Are you all connected okay? Are you starting to get hose pipe bans in your area? What's going on? Mimi Susu, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Yeah, let's see what I can, as long as it works out, then it'll be impressive. But if it ends up being a complete, a leaky roof and everything starts falling apart, then that I should have hired someone to do it rather than have a go myself. Kat Shea, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. I go to the plot this evening, no committee, and the hose comes out. So Chris in the Welsh Valleys, you haven't got a hosepipe ban yet. I was driving just a couple of days ago. We went to the beach. I think it was Wednesday. We went up to Scarborough, and as soon as on my way out from Leeds, just before Wetherby, there's a massive, what looked like a geyser, shooting out the ground, spraying everywhere. Thousands of liters of water being sprayed everywhere at the moment, all over the place. And I'm just thinking, if that was, those kind of things were fixed regularly, and those water leaks were fixed, then we won't be having this problem. I mean, the infrastructure here is old, and these private companies aren't putting the money back in to fix the old infrastructure. That's why we're having this sort of thing, because if they weren't losing so much water to leaks, then we wouldn't be losing out. We won't be suffering from hosepipe bans. We won't be suffering from droughts. If they weren't pumping, in order to save some money, they weren't pumping raw sewage into rivers and into the open ocean or in open seas. We won't have poor quality, rivers. There was, I think, there was only one or two. So, I think there was only one or two rivers in the whole of the UK that are deemed safe, safe swimming waters. So, Samwav, or whatever your name is making a comment, trying to be a bit funny, I think. Who are you speaking to? There's only one viewer. Listen, mate, I've got quite a big audience over on YouTube that I'm speaking to at the moment. So even though I get one viewer over on TikTok, yeah, I've got loads over here. So there you go. So let's see what's going on. Chris in the Welsh Valleys, no one's there yet. Okay, if I've got my raiding barrel set up now, I'm fighting mosquitoes. Oh, do you know a little bit of oil in the top of that? Do you know, if you put some oil at the top of your rain barrel, something like olive oil or something like that, maybe a centimeter of that, because of it covers the surface. Mosquitoes don't like that, so it can stop the mosquito larvae breeding, the mosquitoes coming down to the water. So that's a little tip for rain barrels. My wife was good enough to bring me my glasses so I can see a little bit better. So let's see. Recently set up another 2 rainwater barrels, which have enough rain for water to come out when you turn the tap on. See, that's the problem with us, is we just haven't had rain to fill up a rain barrel. My water butts are empty. So Graham Arnold's not had any rainwater since May. Yeah, the thing is, we had probably the driest spring that we've ever had. So hardly any rain between sort of April all the way till the end of May. We got a little bit of rain in June and a little bit in July, but hardly anything. It's been absolutely dreadful this year. I was listening to Radio 4 News, and there was an expert from one of the universities talking about how it's the rainfall since last October hasn't been anywhere near what it should normally be. So F2 Sav absolutely is on another live too, clearly. Exactly. There you go. So we stream off multiple platforms every Friday, so we get to chat with as many of our followers as we can, and it's a good chance to catch up. In Yorkshire here, hosepipe ban's predicted by the end of the month. So Justine, I'm in Leeds. So yeah, I think they're saying nationwide hosepipe bans by the end of the month as well. So I think everyone's going to hit it. What's the fine for using a hosepipe ban? Places may vary, but I heard £1,000. I think Walaikum Assalam wa rahmatullah, or F2 Sav. I'm not sure if those numbers are supposed to. I'm rubbish when numbers are mixed in with letters at reading that. So if that's not what it's meant to say, then correct me. Love what you're doing. May Allah bring you barakah. Yeah, Ameen, Ameen, Ya Rabbul Alameen. Jazakallah khair. Thanks for that lovely dua. So I bought a manual drill to dig 120 minutes. No way. Katshu, whereabouts here? Are you in the UK, or whereabouts here? Heard rumours today of rain next week. See, the weather's going to drop by Monday. The temperature's going to really drop, so we'll probably get down to 18, 19 degrees again by Monday, and then we'll see what happens after that. There might be a little bit of rain. Let's see. Thunderstorms due here Sunday night. Hopefully they'll cross over and get us over here as well. Hopefully we're getting thunderstorms Monday and Tuesday. Fill my 100,000 litre water tank up. I better get my roof on then. I better get my roof on faster than that. By Monday I better have my roof on. But I think we might be out of tiles by Monday. Catches in Leeds as well. Okay, so you're not far from me. I'm in LS8, so not far up. Yeah. I hope we get some rain because the ground is absolutely dry, really dry. Even you can see I've got in some of the areas I've got like 2-3 inches of mulch on some of my beds, and the clay is cracked so much that the mulch is falling through the cracks down there. So it's weird. It's really weird at the moment. Where'd you get your seeds, and where can we get ours? Like Asian veggie seeds. Walaikum assalam is the where do I get my seeds from? I normally use a company called Premier Seeds Direct, or CK Horticulture. So you can get loads of seeds from there. The desi seeds I get sent over from Bangladesh a lot of the time. So we'll see. So horseback bands announced here in Yorkshire, scheduled to start on Friday before August Bank Holiday, 26th or something. Fine is up to £1,000. Wow, that's a big fine, that, isn't it? £1,000 is a big fine. So I disappointed you last week. Well, if you stop watching because I disappoint you, then what can I say? Yeah, redirect the neighbour's downpipes wanting to your tank. The thing is, at the moment, I'm having a good bit of play with my grey water. So what I've done with my grey water from my shower is that drives down some guttering pipes, and it drives through my lawn, on clay. I've lost my little trowel, but yeah, I've lost my little trowel, so I can't get the channel quite right and smoothed out at the bottom. But it drives down through the lawn, so it waters the lawn, and then it's pooling up in one of my beds. It's emptying out there, and I've got another blue fireman's hose pipe attached to my kitchen sink outlet, and that I can just direct to any bed that I want and just leave it. What I've done with them is I've dug out small channels, and then I just let it empty into those channels, and it just spreads out across the bed. So it's quite it's like flood irrigation, but with water that would otherwise go down the drain. And especially with grey water, there's so many nutrients that are packed in there, especially stuff that you've done your kitchen washing from. So whenever you've got a pan that you've cooked your food in, and then you wash it, you're emptying that out into your garden. You're just emptying out all those nutrients that were attached to the side of that pan. So it's a good way of free fertilizer for the garden as well. Let me just tilt that camera up a little bit. So Drop's Family Garden. Drop, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. It's been a while since you've been able to come in. Hope you're good. So I need to go get more biryani from Pakistan. Just finish mine. Have fun. Brother Martin, do you recommend me to try high potassium feed because my huddle aren't growing? Can you mention a brand, please? High potassium feed. If you can get a hold of some comfrey leaves, right? Comfrey is a really good dynamic accumulator. So it has, it is pulling up a lot of minerals from the earth, but the potassium levels are higher than, say, nettles. That would be a good balanced feed. It'd be, and that's a good way of feeding your plants. Alternatively, banana skins, apple cores, pear cores, all of these kind of fruits that you're eating daily. Just rot them down in a bucket of water and use that as your feed. So that's what I use. I don't buy fertilizer. So I'm not really good for recommending brands when it comes to fertilizer. Look for, if you were going to buy something in a bottle, then look for something organic. Look for something, look for something organic. Something like an organic tomato feed. That would be perfect. Also, a seaweed feed if you can find that, and then just use that seaweed feed and spray your leaves, spray your make sure there's plenty on the roots as well. So that's an alternative. Yeah, but sorry, I can't mention a brand because I'm just not that good with which brand's good and which brand's not, because I just don't use them. I prefer to make my own for free. That's my head. That's my head. That's where my head's at. Who's that girl? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. You're laughing, Graham, but one of my rain barrels is actually got that run. See, one of the things that I'm going to be doing is we're fixing the roof at the moment, and my gutter stops and my neighbour's gutter stops. So while I'm up there, I'm just going to change the ends to connect my neighbour's gutter to my gutter, just like Laura you've done, and then anything that collects in on my neighbour's roof will just run down my downpipe. So that'll be good. Let's see, we're currently in a burn ban here for most of Oklahoma, so I'm trying to get there. So I've got so I'm glad I've got the rain barrels. So are you currently in a drought as well in Oklahoma? So guys, we've got 20 people watching. We've got 12 likes. If you haven't hit that like for me, please hit that like. Hope you, yeah. Throw them banana peels into a bucket of water to make compost. Yeah, exactly. So throw them into a bucket of water, let them rot down. Same thing with apple cores, any fruit peelings that you've got. If you like jackfruit, if you can rot those skins down, absolutely phenomenal. It's like rocket fuel. Absolutely rocket. Yeah, I love it. So Catherine Matthews, hope you're keeping well. What you were saying earlier, husband works for a water company, says much of the infrastructure is Victorian. There's been very little investment and hundreds of litres lost to leaks. Exactly. Yeah, see, that's exactly what I was. Yeah, it's old infrastructure. The privatized companies are taking out millions and millions of profit every year, and they're never putting that back into the infrastructure. They're never fixing those water pipes. They're never fixing those leaks or potential places for leaks. How many days you leave scraps in water? What I ideally like to do is leave them long enough for the banana skins to become soft and start falling apart. You will get some benefit from them even after a week, yeah. But ideally, I like to leave them for a lot longer, maybe a month, 6 weeks, that sort of period. But if you're stuck and you want to try and make something fast, then just put them in now, and then in a week's time use it, and then you've at least given it that first little hit, and then use that same material, that same banana pulp, whatever you've got, and let that ferment and let that break down for even longer, and then use that in a month's time, 6 weeks time, and keep adding to it. All the time. Just have one bucket that you constantly add into. Is there a hosepipe ban, or is SM lying? Who's SM? I'm not sure who SM is, but there's hosepipe bans in parts of the country, and there's potentially a nationwide hosepipe ban coming later on this month. That's what's potentially going to happen, unless we get some serious amounts of rain. Guys, if you're over on TikTok, please hit that like for me. Absolutely no problem at all. So yeah, even if you've got no other kind of feed and you've got some compost, just soak your compost and use the brown water so soak it, make like a tea bag with compost, and then just soak that in some water, and whatever is left from that water, use that, mean, that's compost tea essentially. Ideally, people would let that brew for a bit longer. They'd let it brew. Some people add air stones. Some people add, and make it an aerobic compost tea. I don't like to get that fancy. If I'm using that kind of compost tea, if I'm using compost tea made from compost, the way I normally do it is I'll just, when we're not in a hosepipe ban, is I'll run the hosepipe ban through my worm bin. So I'll just flood my worm bin, and whatever drains out from the bottom, I just use that as as fertilizer for my garden, and that is absolutely beautiful stuff because it's got all that worm juice in it. It's got all the stinky juices from the fruits and all the veg peelings that are breaking down in there. It's got things that have already broken down, and it's mixing with that and dissolving some of the solids from the compost that's in there, and it's giving me some really nice fertilizer. But yeah, so that's what I like to use, either that or some nettle tea, comfrey tea, some of my fruit cocktail juice or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, they're the sorts of things that I like. Let's see. So Catherine, you've been able to comment this week. I'm glad you've been able to fix that problem, whatever it is. Yeah, because for the last couple of weeks you've not been able to comment, and I'm glad you're able to get involved with the conversation. Let's see what else is being said. Yeah. So the only thing that's different on my end, because I normally put subscriber mode on, and I've taken subscriber mode off. So I don't know if that's the only difference I've made on this end. So because it's so hot, I don't know if you can see on camera, but I'm sat here in my lungi. It just gives it that little. It's warm enough to be wearing a lungi. It's like Bangladeshi temperatures here. Yeah, so it's absolutely lovely though. I wish I wasn't doing this roof, and then I'd be able to enjoy the day a bit more. But we went to Scarborough on Saturday. You're right,
yeah.
Did you have fun in Scarborough?
Watching Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire downstairs.
Did you have fun in Scarborough? Angie saying hello to you.
Hi, Andy.
Angie.
Oh, Angie. Hi, Angie.
Not Andy. Yeah, did you enjoy Scarborough on Wednesday? Laura saying hello to you.
Yeah, kinda. Hi, Laura. Hi.
Kinda. You were swimming away from everyone. This kid, you were just running into the sea and just off you went.
I got sand everywhere, and I got salt, and I swallowed salt water twice.
And I was having to chase you around.
We went to this haunted house, and yes, Harry Potter is the best. We went into this haunted house, and I said I wouldn't be scared, but I was terrified. I was holding on to my older cousin, but after the haunted house, I wasn't that scared.
So, swimming in the North Sea, blimey, you breathe. Why is it? Is it because of the pollution, or is it because it's cold? Because if it normally, it's quite. I think it's quite cold, but it was really hot on Wednesday, and there was this little patch that was really warm, and I was just swimming in that. Yeah, so I was just there was this really little patch. You step to one side, or you step to the other side, and it's cold, and there's this one little patch that was just really warm. So yeah.
I have an important question.
What's that? Go on.
Who's your favorite Harry Potter character?
Harry Potter character favorite?
No, it's them.
Yeah. So Graham said it's cold as well. Yeah, it is cold. It is cold. I mean, these guys were in there. Khadija and Tayyiba, they were in there without any issue at all. They were just diving in.
After Harry died in the movie, I saw a clip, and Dumbledore was in robes that looked like Gandalf. Like Gandalf.
Severus
Snape and Moaning Myrtle.
What's Moaning Myrtle?
She's a ghost that was killed by the basilisk in the girls' toilets when she was crying. when the Chamber of Secrets was first opened.
Right. Okay.
You have no idea what I'm talking about,
no.
do you?
No, and there's another Snape as well. So no one likes Harry.
My favorite's Dumbledore.
Dumbledore. He's a
He's,
big one.
no, isn't that's Hagrid.
The big one with a
Dumbledore's
big
got
beard.
Dumbledore's got a big beard.
My precious. There you go. Hang on, there we go. We've got Lord of the Rings being thrown in.
Harry Potter's better.
Right. Second favorite is Dumbledore. Okay. You're gonna have to show me who Dumbledore is.
I can show you right now on Google.
No, after. Okay. So, what's everyone's plans for this weekend? What you all up to? What you all thinking of? Did you know that Dumbledore is an old word for bumblebee?
Oh.
Is it? You just made that up? But if not, then that's awesome.
Accio was actually Latin for I summoned. So if you said something like Accio book, in Latin it would mean I summon book.
My Northern Garden, how are you doing, mate?
Thank you very much. If any of you had one superpower, what would it be?
No, so it's true. See, Laurison, that's true. Dumbledore means bumblebee.
Oh.
Angie, I think we're in the same boat. I'm with you on that one. Yeah.
Wait.
I know very little too when it comes to these things.
If any of you could only have one superpower, what would it be?
So, Kato family's getting the full planting in order. See, I'm catching up. Let them answer. See, I've been planning on doing that for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm still way behind.
No one's answering.
Every weekend, something else comes up to take me away from it.
Invisibility cloak.
So I'm just on
Harry's
that.
Invisibility.
So
one time,
Dumbledore. Lettuce, kale, cabbage. I've had a nightmare with beets this year.
One time, Dumbledore was almost Master of Death because he almost had all 3 Deathly Hallows. So much people have been picking invisibility.
So Alan's saying
mine would be the ability to copy powers, and if I think of those people.
So Alan's saying he wants invisibility, planning on hiding from the sun.
You'd still be there, so that able to fly.
What does that mean? Snap Laura. Snap Laura. I get it. It's supposed to have a space in the middle. What makes you think I don't have a power? Yeah.
Water powers. Mind reading.
So Graham wants to fly. Graham Arnold says he wants it to rain.
Telekinesis sounds like a cool power, making things move with your mind.
See, I'd like Superman's superpowers.
Actually, those are more than one. Laser eyes and very strong, very fast, and very freeze breath.
Yeah.
Superman's sphere is actually harming people even with a hug, and he might break their back.
Yeah. So Superman would be me. That's superpower. Does that not count? Be able to grow carrots once.
Nature powers and able to grow things randomly and manipulate them.
I'll tell you what. Do you know what? This year's been the best carrot year I've ever had.
What would your superpower be?
What do you think of the carrots Wait, I'll answer that next.
Yeah, I get it.
What do you think of the carrots that we've had this year? You were munching on them yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good carrots, aren't they?
Yeah.
Big, straight, juicy. Make plants grow would be my superpower. But see, you're talking to a room full of gardeners here. Where else are we? How to get changed into pants in a revolving door.
I'm just gonna go now.
Icky, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Try low nitrogen soil and low nitrogen soil and loose soil. I see. I normally do a 50-50. So either a 50-50 compost and sharp sand mix, or sort of 30% compost, 20% garden soil, and 50% sharp sand, and just sieve that all together. Just use a small fine sieve it all together, and I just grow carrots in that. And this year I've grown them in these black containers, you know, the ones that I set my container garden up in, and I've had some of the best carrots that I've ever had. They're really nice and long. They're probably about 6 inches longish. They're nice and full. They're fat. They're not split. They're straight. Oh, wicked carrots this year. I'm only managed to first carrots this year. See, do you know, if you're struggling with germination, one of the good things that I always use is a sheet of cardboard over the top. So plant your seeds, cover them with about half a centimetre of compost or whatever mix you're using over the top. Water them in well, and then put a sheet of cardboard over the top, and leave that for about 14 days ish. So 11 to 14 days is when they start germinating. So just come and have peaks every few days after that. And then the minute you see a little bit of a little bit of a carrot shoot, then just whip that cardboard off, and off you go. But
I have 2 questions. Can someone tell me a good idea of a Marvel What If for the MCU?
A Marvel MCU, okay. Sick to death of cucumbers already, too prolific.
And a good Lego Marvel stop motion idea.
See, Graham, I've had another.
Don't do the second question. Just stick to the first one. Marvel What Ifs.
I've had another poor season with cucumbers. My cucumber plants all got eaten by slugs. I've got one cucumber plant that's
Bobby, you did one time.
Just 1 second, Steve. It came on late, and it's just starting to reach maturity now. So hopefully we'll get some flowers off it soon. Howdy, long time no see, mate. Thank you very much for coming in. What are you saying?
All right. If anyone has any ideas on the Marvel What If, I'm open to suggestions.
So I grew broad beans in a big pot, and they've been yummy. Angie, that's awesome. Yeah, see, I've got my late crop of broad beans that are ready to pick. So my mum cooked broad beans and fish a couple of days ago. That was wicked. That was really nice. See, the broad beans almost sort of start to melt and turn into like a dal.
Does anyone have any ideas
of what?
MCU What If.
What's an MCU What If?
Something like one thing that changes in one of the MCU movies.
Okay, so what if something else happened in one of the Marvel movies?
MCU.
Yeah. So my MCU superpower would be making people read things aloud.
Mind manipulation.
My method of carrots is forgetting to collect seeds on time, so I've got them everywhere.
Does anyone have any ideas?
So Icky's got good cucumber crops. The years I have good cucumber.
Thinking of an idea, or you're just ignoring me?
See, the years I have good cucumbers is some years I have some really good cucumbers, and then you get one plant that's really prolific, but the cucumbers are so bitter. Regardless of how you water them and get the water consistency right, or don't overwater, don't underwater, something goes wrong, and you just get absolute, bitter cucumbers. So what's a good variety of cucumbers that are not bitter? There you go. What's it? La Diva. I think that's the name of it. That's supposed to be. What you're looking for is like an F1 all-female variety. That should stop the cucumbers from becoming bitter. So Laura doesn't do cucumber. Angie doesn't know. Graham Smith, Cherokee Taylor, tears are great beans.
Just tell me an MC. Just tell me a Marvel character.
I like broad beans. Like I used to grow broad beans as cover crops, but then we started eating them, and they're pretty good. So
Only Marvel character.
Superman.
He's DC.
Okay, Spider-Man.
No.
No. Okay.
Spider-Man won't do.
Batman.
Batman's in DC as well.
Oh, there you go. Another Spider-Man. Look for balotti beans if you like the beans on their own.
I'm thinking of doing a cut.
So there's another one for Spider-Man. Balotti beans are pretty good.
I'm gonna do. What if that has something to do with Thor?
So balotti beans are good for if you just want the beans itself. What's the?
What if Thor?
So we've got a Diana variety, I think, of runner bean that's supposed to be stringless. That's good. There's some purple French climbing beans that I really like. What are their names? I'm really bad at remembering the individual names. But if you want something a little bit different as well, hyacinth beans are always
I've got an idea.
The flowers are absolutely amazing.
I've got an idea.
And
I've got an idea.
the beans taste really good. Just wait till you.
I've got an idea.
So little wing 6 saying chicken cross the road.
I've got an idea.
To get to your home. There you go. Knock knock. Who's there? The chicken. You get it? Yeah, you like that?
I got an idea for the thing.
Go on.
What if the destroyer from the original Thor movie, that Thor's friends were fighting when Thor didn't have his powers? What if Thor was able to control it and then made it join the Avengers?
What if? Absolutely. There you go.
What if it wasn't as strong?
MCU Mr. Sinister is awesome. What's Mr. Sinister? I've never heard
I'm
of that.
waiting for you. Oh, sorry. We're watching Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Okay, bye.
Oh, you're supposed to be watching that, so you had it on pause all this time while you were chatting to everyone else.
I had it paused all this time. Bye.
So he's had it. He's had everyone waiting downstairs with this on pause, waiting for you.
Everyone's been waiting.
And he's got into chatting with you guys. No way. Can tomatoes cross-pollinate? I want to buy fancy tomato seeds, but the vendor claims it's very rare. See, Ali, tomatoes are really promiscuous. They cross-pollinate really easy. Now, if you wanted to grow true tomato seeds or true variety, the thing that you'd want to do is as soon as you notice the flowers appearing, then bag those flowers and then hand pollinate those individual flowers and keep them bagged until the tomatoes fruit and mature, without allowing that particular truss to be exposed to anything else. That's the way I sort of pollinate my chilies, and I say my chili seeds. Anyone bought seeds from Tomato Revolution Company? Never heard of them. I'm not sure about cross-pollination of tomatoes. Guessing I'm finding out as of. So there you go. Yeah, they do. If they're drooping in the heat, make sure you. If a plant with a lot of leaves.
I entrust you with the babysitting over Alex, okay. My sobble.
A lot of a tomato plant with a tomato
Keep
plant.
Them in your arms.
Okay. A tomato plant with a lot of
leaves.
Don't
put them there. Just lift them up high.
Okay. A tomato plant with a lot of leaves will droop more readily than another tomato plant. So what I tend to do with tomatoes, especially, is to trim the leaves back and allow let the plant focus on the fruit rather than on leaf production. We just use broomsticks to sweep the path. I didn't get that. Mr. Sinister is a super villain in the comics. I've never heard of him. Little Wing 6, absolutely not a problem at all. Lock the door. He's having more fun up here talking to you guys than watching his film.
Actually, the film is paused because Fuffa's not downstairs.
Okay. Harry Potter's got a broomstick to fly on. Ah, there you go. So Harry Potter.
The fireball. His wand broke. I don't know which wand he used in the Battle of Hogwarts.
See, I never liked the idea of Harry Potter, a bunch of posh kids, play in a private school.
It's not exactly a private school.
There's a working class lad in me coming out.
Where? Who said that? Who said that?
I said that.
Oh, I thought you were reading it. Someone said it in the comments. It's not a bunch of posh kids going into a private school.
Okay.
The school is kept private from muggles, so they don't just go around asking wizards to solve their problems.
There you go. My jalapeno is very poor this year. All green leaves growing like crazy, but only one fruit. Each plant is very tiny and went red.
I also like Star Wars.
I literally butchered leaves and now I'm getting heavy fruit. See, root restriction is very good for that as well. You know, instead of giving a plant lots of soil and lots of space to grow.
Alright, I'm taking over now.
Sometimes if you grow them in a smaller plant and allow them to, you know, constrict them a little bit, then that can sometimes produce better crops. I've noticed that on some of my smaller chili plants, but some of the things like, you know, my large naga plants, they need that soil, they need that expansive
you mean
space.
The mandrakes and the pots?
I must say it's a good time to re-roof your house, though. That it must be really tough in this weather.
I've
been loving it, you know, Bobby. I've been absolutely loving it.
Does anyone here like Star Wars? Me and my dad like Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars is good.
The prequels were just way better than the episodes 4, 5, and 6. I want to play the Skywalker saga, but I don't have an Xbox.
Incredible experience. Hogwarts is a state school. Ah, there you go.
Actually, it's a school for the entire country.
They're all in small pots from last year, and they're in their second year. Okay. So depending on the type of chili, so your jalapenos.
Does anyone here want to talk about Star Wars?
See, the habanero types, they do better in the second year. They do better in the second year. Jalapenos tend to, jalapenos, green chilies, you know, sort of the peppery type plants, they do better in the first year rather than the second year. Your dad knows Star Wars because it was out when he was a child.
Does anyone have who's your favorite Sith or bad guy with lightsabers in Star Wars?
Favorite bad guy? Has to be Darth Vader.
Mine
has to be Darth Vader or the Phantom Menace.
The Phantom Menace was Palpatine.
So Fonzie, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. How are you doing? Thanks very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well.
Definitely Darth Vader.
When I ripped apart the leaves and now it's literally loaded with peppers growing really fast and big, the suckers keep growing apparently, but pinch them literally. So one of the things that when you prune chilies is you want as many V notches in the branches as possible.
I haven't seen that clip.
Because that's whenever you notice a plant putting out chilies, it's always from that V between two branches. If you trim back beyond those V's, right, you'll force the plant to produce, go into survival mode and produce chilies.
Does anyone here like Lego?
But if you prune it back and then it grows off and puts off a new couple of shoots and allow them to grow, then all you've done is encourage growth rather than encourage that chili production. Have you seen Rogue One? Yeah.
I haven't seen Rogue One. I think I've seen it.
Jar Jar was a Sith Lord. Jar Jar Binks?
No, he wasn't. He couldn't even fight in an army with.
Have you ever seen the clip where a stormtrooper brings his head walking through C-3PO? His
Lego.
Whose head?
Lego was amazing.
So, what, Lego Star Wars?
No, just normal Lego. I like playing with it.
Oh, Lego blocks.
Yeah,
I like that.
Not blocks,
No,
they're bricks.
I don't like the Lego TV programs. Oh, they're
I
so
like-
annoying.
I like Lego in the games, even though I haven't
A couple
really
of my
played
outdoor
them.
chilies are going back. I can't remember them doing that. That last year.
I remember watching.
Going
I
black?
remember playing
Do you mean
Lego
going black?
Marvels. I'm tired. I remember playing Lego Marvel Superheroes too. And there was Kang the Conqueror and all this, and everyone had to just fight all the bad guys.
Nearly all chilies do go
There was
black.
also a future Doctor Strange and Captain America.
So a lot of chilies do go
Okay,
black,
bye.
depending on the conditions. Sometimes
You like
some
Ninjago?
varieties tend to do it more than the other ones. But
Papa,
it's
as
very
someone who's
common.
been to Legoland and went on a Ninjago ride, I like Ninjago as well, but
See,
we're not. My dad says we can't go to Legoland because it's too far.
yeah,
What
it's
is
too
it?
far. It's too
London.
far.
London. We're going to London in December. Can we go Legoland there? No, because you said no, but I was not going.
No, I'm not going with you. You guys. So
Can
no.
we go Legoland on?
I'll take you one day, but not
Can I
now.
go Legoland next summer holiday?
We'll see.
I'm going to year 7. I just have a feeling that I also have a feeling.
Isn't Legoland near London?
I also have a feeling that the popular kids in my class in year 6 are.
I thought Legoland was gonna be in a different country.
No, they're going to be the not popular ones in. I think they're just not going to be in.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be not popular ones in year 7.
Ali, I'm not sure where you are.
The popular boys in the year 6, I can just tell they're not going to be popular in year 7.
But for me in Leeds, that's a 4-hour drive at best. Yeah, that's way too far.
I'm tired.
So
We're going to Wales.
So you're in Nottingham, so halfway there, almost.
What's your favorite fruit?
Starting the car yet? What for? Well, whose favorite fruit?
I'm asking. I'm asking.
What's up? Oh, you're asking what everyone's favorite fruit is.
Yeah.
No, you need to go to Maghrib. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna end it here as well. So
No, we can just see.
Go on then.
What's your favorite fruit?
What's your favorite fruit, so everyone? What's your favorite fruit? What's your favorite fruit?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
Watermelon.
Watermelon. That's your favorite fruit for now. Strawberries.
That's my 5th favorite.
My favorite fruit is khatul.
That's a almond.
Yeah.
Cherries.
Cherry. Oh, we went to Leeds Market the other day and we came back with these massive cherries, absolutely huge.
What's a strawberry melon?
We probably got a kilo of cherries for about £2.
Everybody likes strawberries.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Some of the best cherries I've ever had, and they were really thick ones.
What's a snowball melon?
It's a little.
I like pomegranate.
It's a smaller melon. Yeah.
What's an?
I'll get you one next time.
What's
I'm from Notspur in Liverpool. Loving the vids,
one?
by the way. They've been super useful. Stephanie, I'm glad you're enjoying them. So,
What's this?
love nectarines. Nectarines like peaches without the fur on the skin.
Oh.
Mine's watermelons as well, along with tangerines.
Tangerines. What's that? Is that type of orange?
Yeah.
Cherries here cost a fortune.
See, I went to Leeds. You know, if you get them from the supermarket, right? Probably 250 grams of cherries from the supermarket will cost about £5. But I went to the market in town, and I came back. You know, the open markets for about 20 quid. I came back with bags full of vegetables. So you like
apricot.
Apricots, they're like little peaches.
Oh.
Okay. Like a cauliflower for £1, 4 aubergines for £1, you know, that sort of thing. A kilo of grapes for £2. You know, you just don't get better bargains than that from the market. I don't get why more people don't buy from from the market.
What is a vegetable?
Let's see, Leeds Market. Yeah, exactly. It's amazing.
What's a Leeds Market?
Do you know?
Leeds
Do you know? As soon as you go in from the bus station end and up the right hand side where all the veg stores are. Phil, how are you doing, mate? Roof's going all right. Roof's going all right. So we've got one side of it's a 3-sided roof. One side's felted and lattered, and I've started the felting on the other 2 sides as well.
Bob.
So tomorrow, hopefully, I should get the rest of the felt on and the rest of the lats on.
I like
We
carrots.
might even be able to start tiling tomorrow as well. So
And
what I was saying about
cucumber
Leeds
too.
Market is you go in through that first door and there's the first veg
Carrots are my favorite.
store you get to on your right. The guy's quite grumpy and miserable. Past his store, the next 2 stores are absolutely amazing. Do you know, they have such bargains on every time. Every time it's absolutely amazing bargains from there. I just don't get why people
I
don't
don't like
buy from
aubergine.
there more. Do you
I've
know,
never
they go,
had rhubarb.
do you know, the amount of food you can buy for 20 quid from the market is amazing. The biggest problem is probably parking. We were talking about carrot growing earlier.
We have lots of carrots. We have lots of carrots in the garden.
We've got good carrots this year. We had a wicked year of carrots.
I had one. It's really hard.
Is there a nice fish shop in Leeds? I'm not in them.
But cucumbers are
So
fruit,
not many
not a
shops
vegetable.
good cheap fish. What kind of fish? Do you mean
Fishmonger.
a fishmonger? I mean, in the market there's really good
But
fishmongers.
cucumber.
But we buy a lot of imported fish from Bangladesh and Burma and places like that, and yeah, we buy that from our local shop.
Cucumber is a fruit, not a vegetable.
Graham, I've been meaning to sow my pak choy. I've been meaning to sow another set of peas in the ground, and this has been my list for the last 3, maybe even 4 weeks. Radishes need to be going in the ground for me as well any minute now. What else? We've got winter cabbages, overwintering cabbages need to go in. Onions is a good one to start now, not just spring onions, but your full onions. You'll get a much earlier harvest, especially if you suffer from things like onion white rot.
Used to like carrots till I tried to grow them. Now I'm getting the refusal to grow for me personally.
So see now.
It's weak on a fruit.
See, do that. Try that method of just germinating them. It's a vegetable. Yeah. So try. So try. Sowing them light with about a centimeter of compost or soil over the top, and then just leaving a damp piece of cardboard over the top until they germinate. Try that. The heat is making sprout. Absolutely. Kohlrabi is another one that is worth sowing. Yeah, definitely. Now is a good. This month, next month, into October is a good time for all of these vegetables. A lot of the things that you can sow now, you can sow up until October, and overwinter either in the ground or in your pots. Right, guys, past 9 o'clock, so I'm going to call it a night here, and I'm going to go and get some rest. Hope you all have a great weekend, and it's been nice talking to you, and I'll see you again next Friday. Watch out for the video this weekend. So I'm going to leave it there for this one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.